Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream. So I'm doing something different today, which is streaming on. Uh, I don't know how to get rid of this. Hey. All right, talk about Mercury going retrograde. I'm trying something new, and that new thing is also going on Instagram. But I don't know if you can hear the background sound from the Instagram. So I have to mute that somehow. So crazy, crazy time. Um, Anyway, welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream. I am coming to you from Hillsborough River State Park, where my husband finally met up with me um, here in the Tampa area. The week before, I was in Key West, and I wanted to share with you the weather. The weather was so bad, all from Key West all the way to Canada. There was rain, so there really wasn't much to show you. So I did my virtual background. This time, I'm not doing a virtual background, so you can see I'm in the woods, in the forest, in the park, out in nature, and I'm doing this because, it's, the winter solstice, so happy Yule, happy winter solstice, and, like I said, I'm streaming to Instagram right now, so we'll see how that goes. Apparently, it doesn't, save as an archive, like, it'll archive to me, but it won't like, you can't watch it again, so when you watch it on Instagram, you see it live, and that's it. So, but it's a new thing that I'm trying to do, and again, welcome to Good Vibes TV. Well, this is the lifestyle, this is a live stream, so you can get to all of these, offerings, all these, shows that I produced for you by going to good-vibes.tv. You could also get to my Amazon store there as well. And, this is all about the good vibes lifestyle. So what does that mean? It's all about living in the higher vibe zone. The good vibe zone is what I call it. When we're experiencing and feeling the emotions of love, of peace, of happiness, all the higher vibrations, because where we're vibrating, we determine that by where we're, vibrating emotionally. Where are you emotionally? That's gonna tell you where you're vibing, whether you're in the low vibes of fear or the higher vibes of love. So that's a simple way to put it. But, I really wanna start a movement, and I actually, reserved the National Good Vibes Day, Good Vibration Day, for October 30th, and I'll be getting some more information, about that to you as it happens. So, happy winter solstice. What does that mean? Well, in pagan traditions, before Christ, our ancestors lived in tune with the cycles of the earth. And so, one of the big cycles, we have our lunar monthly cycle, and we also have a solar annual cycle. So, just like the moon goes from a new moon to a full moon and back to a new moon, the sun has the same kind of cycle. So, this winter solstice is when it's the longest night and least amount of day. So, it's all about light and dark, right? So longest night is tonight, and the winter solstice, let me show you, actually happens at 10:27 PM Eastern Time tonight. That's like the but yet we're in a it's a portal, it's a window, so several days prior, several days after, we're still in this period of time of the winter solstice. Also, Yule is called Yule. So it's a season where Wiccans, witches, pagans, and people that are into nature, um, like to celebrate. It's kind of the predecessor to Christmas. There's so many, so much symbolism from the sun, SON, to the sun, SUN, that have been kind of put together. And, it's just really, really interesting. So today is the shortest day of the year, and then the full moon aspect, or full sun energy happens during summer solstice. So there's the winter solstice, and 6 months later, the summer solstice. So that's when the sun is at its peak, and then it begins the waning cycle back to the winter solstice, again, when we start new. So it's kind of like, a new year, and many people do celebrate this as of the new year, in addition to, the January 1st. So it's, Happy Yule. I'm so excited to be out here and out in nature. So I'm not even using my ring light like I usually do. I'm actually using the sun. So that was a little tricky, but we got it. Now, also remember you can comment at any time. I can see your comments, put them on the screen. So please feel free to do that. All right. So the winter solstice. Let's go into some more astrological news. We're in the uh, waxing phase of the moon because we're going from the new moon, which I believe was on the 12th, to the full moon. Now, the full moon is next week on December 26th at 7:33 p.m., and that is our full moon. So things are building, 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 and it's actually the day after Christmas. So we're in a very intense period of time energetically because of what's happening in the energies of the cosmos. Um, and, it's not just the full moon that's happening now, well, Yule now, and then the full moon happening. But we're also in Mercury retrograde. Ah, so that happened the day after the new moon and goes until January 1st. So we're really in a time of reflection and reflecting over the past year, renewing our commitment for the new year, planning things out for the new year. Um, this is so it's a very intense time because we've got several energetic things happening besides Yule and the Mercury retrograde, and now the full moon coming up. Then on top of that, other holiday celebrations that happen around this time of year, and they do because it's tied to the cosmos and where the sun is, where the moon is. So it's and of course you're in the southern hemisphere, it's opposite. So they're celebrating the winter solstice, but for them, it's the time of intense sunlight like the summer solstice is to us. So it's reversed. And the reason is because the Earth axis will dip a little bit, will tilt, right? The Earth tilts. And so the northern hemisphere tilts away from the sun during the winter and then towards it in the summer, and vice versa. The southern hemisphere right now, because we're tilted away from the sun, they're getting more sun like the summer solstice. So it's very interesting. I think, to follow these different cycles of nature because we're natural beings, and by focusing on nature we and being in sync with those, cycles, we are living in the flow, and it's really part of what I'm calling the good vibes lifestyle. So, with especially Mercury retrograde and everything that's going on, like I talked about last week, it's a time to reflect, renew, reconnect, and, this is the time, the holidays, where we are doing that with our families and friends. So, it's a very exciting time of the year. And, what we do now can set up, 2024 for us. So it's important to get that rest and renewal and not just go, 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 go all the time. It's important to, exert energy, but then come back and restore. Exert energy, it's cycles. Everything in life is cycles. All right. So that's what I've got for that. And yes, I talked about the Mercury retrograde. So it's time for Oracle of the Month. And the Oracle that I am checking out this month is actually a tarot deck called the Light Seers Tarot Deck, and this is the pocket-sized version, which I really like 'cause I have small hands and they fit in my hand really well. So the Light Seers Tarot Deck, I've been playing with it. Um, of course, in between live streams, I like to delve into that. And let's see, let's what our oracle message is for today. I have some curious neighbors wondering what's happening, and I see a beautiful, looks like a black vulture that's going around. We saw armadillo last night, so, and back in Murphy, our camera caught a bobcat, and also, what was the other one that we just a bear. Um, there's a big black bear that's, on the mountain in, Murphy. So we have some trail cams that keep track of that, and we put those to our phones. Technology is wonderful, and we get to see what's happening at our house. So let me pick a card for today. And I hope these people are not coming to the site. I am oh, Mercury retrograde. I'm in a site separate across from ours, and it looks like someone might be coming here. So this is really wonderful. I might have to move. Whoops. And it looks like, yeah, I might be doing that. So I don't know. We'll see what how far I can get here. Let me pull a card. Oh, they keep jumping out. Yeah, it figures. Okay. So how I do here? Um, I'm gonna keep going. We'll see what happens here, but I might have to move again. So this might get kind of messy. Go figure. All right, 2 cards kept falling out, so I'm gonna give you the cards. So we got the Star and 3 of Cups. This is the Star card, and this is the 3 of Cups. Um, so let me go ahead and read these meanings. Now, I've been studying the tarot for quite a long time, so I have the sense of what these meanings are. These guys are gonna try to pull in here, so it's gonna get noisy because they have well, how should I do this? What do you think? Should I try moving my whole rig right here? I have to, or if I could just stop and pick it up. I don't know what to do. All right. I think they're going to be back. So, oh, they're going. Okay, good. Maybe they'll decide they can't fit in here. It's a really big rig. Ay, ay, ay. Talk about uh, live, right? All right. So the Star and the 3 of Cups. The Star has to do with your dreams and wishes kind of thing. It's number 17, and meanings are expectations fulfilled, wishes granted, opportunities, healing after traumatic events, knowing you are on the right path, inspiration, and renewed hope. So sink into the dreamlike inspiration of the star. She sends a message of divine timing and renewed hope. She guides you to reach for that string of serendipity and faith. Your, your future is increasingly bright, and you are blessed by the universe. Your core purpose is beginning to bubble at the surface of your reality, and your path is intrinsically tied to your biggest mission and brightest opportunities for expansion. Step onto a path of fulfillment and happiness with starlight to guide you. Allow your innate essence to shine through any residual darkness right now. Uncover any limiting beliefs or self doubt that you are holding on to. Find the courage to voice any unexpressed emotions and release every bit of outgrown energy that is anchoring you to the past. It is time to release and ascend. As you let go, you will focus on the future. You will find your biggest source of inspiration and love. The stars are aligning in your favor, and it's time to trust them. And the affirmation is, I expect miracles. Love that. And that's so perfect talking about, the light and the dark because that's what Yule is all about, the return of light. This is our longest night of darkness, and darkness will be less and less. So that is so cool. Now, 3 of Cups, that card normally represents celebration. So let's see what her description says. She says it's about friendships and abundance, cooperation, community. I'll show you the card. Closeness, um, closeness with siblings, joy, communication, celebration, and contract. All right. And the meaning she has here is the packs you run with and the kindred connections you forge are not always defined by blood, yet they are your living and breathing support system. Deep friendships, deep friendships are the family we choose, and these sacred connections are to be cherished and nurtured. In the best and worst of times, your companions serve as mirrors, allowing you to see who you really are through their eyes. Who do you need to reach out to for support? Call in your besties and enjoy the warm laughter that comes from a powerful soul group. Your mutually loving and beneficial bond carries vibrational attractions that often are ancient, and any setbacks arising from miscommunication or disharmony with others may be old wounds or patterns that are resurfacing to be healed. If an important connection has gone awry, it may be time to make amends. If you need to commit more energy to cultivating friendships, trust your heart to lead you. And that information on there is I connect into the sacred siblinghood and into this expansive experience of witnessing through time. So with these two, makes sense to me, reflecting about our wishes and our dreams, celebrating your accomplishments and successes from last year, and preparing for your goals of what you want to accomplish in the new year. Then celebrating and having that support system around you. Important. So I think that was a really good message from Spirit. Now it's time to get to the Limitless book, expanded edition by Jim Quick. And also to let you know, shop my Amazon store. This is where you can get the Lightseers deck and also this book, Limitless. You can just go to good-vibes.tv. You'll see a button there, shop my Amazon store, and I'll have all of the things I talk about, the books, all the other things that I use on there, and it would be awesome if you use that, because, you can also with this, Limitless, um, book, go to this, website and put the receipt in there, and then what you can do is he has all kinds of resources and, freebies, about $350 worth of freebies. Someone coming around with some ice. Wonderful. Alright. So last week, I talked about, Limitless, and I told you that I was gonna talk about the 7 lies, which, Jim talks about what he calls lies limited ideas entertained. So, there are several, he calls lies. He loves to use acronyms because he was a boy with a broken brain, and he had to learn how to learn, and so his whole passion was teaching other people how to have a healthy brain and how to learn. So, that's what his book is all. And the first, lie that he I is called, the first line that he talks about is intelligence is fixed, and that is just not the truth. Last week I talked about a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Fixed mindset means, you got what you got and that's it. You whatever intelligence, whatever brain power you have, is limited and it's fixed. Versus a growth mindset says that you can, your mindset is that you can grow and always able to grow. And this is more in line with who we are because, our bodies and our cells are replicating daily. Some organs get replaced basically every couple of months. We have basically a brand new body. So that's more of a growth mindset, realizing that we can grow, that we can change. Nothing is fixed. So intelligence is not fixed, and we can grow our intelligence. So fix means that we're powerless to change, and growth means that we have the ability to improve anything. So our beliefs, if we believe that we can't, then we can't. But if you believe you can, then you can. So our belief system, and this is why he talks about the mindset, is important because what we believe is true for us. And, just because something is true for somebody else that's negative doesn't mean it has to be true for you. You create your own reality, and it starts with your belief system. So be aware of what mindset do you have? Do you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? So with each of these lines, he has a new belief. The new belief that espouses is intelligence is fluid. So intelligence is fluid. Well, that replaces that first lie that intelligence is fixed. The next lie he talks about is that we only use 10% of our brains, and this is one that I thought was true as well. I thought, um, I don't remember who I heard it from, but, we've always been or I've always been told that we, only use a certain percentage of our brain. Well, what what Jim talks or found is that this is not true. The brain actually takes is only 2% space. It takes only up 2% space by weight of the body, but it uses 20% of the energy consumption of the body. So it is very, very important. And it's not true that we only use 10%. The truth is, and the new belief is that we use our whole brain, just like, you know, we don't use just part of our body, we're using all of our body, but some athletes and other people, they use work their body so they use it more effectively, more efficiently, and they might have stronger, muscles in some or certain areas of the body than the other, but it doesn't mean that they don't use all of the body. In the same way, we use all of our brains, whether we realize it or not, we use all of our brain. So the new belief here to counteract that line number 2 is I'm learning to use my whole brain the best possible. All right. Line number 3 is that mistakes are failures. This is one I've kinda always realized that failure is not a mistake. Mistakes aren't failures, and that you have to fail in order to succeed. Kind of always kinda known that. He referred to Einstein, who said, "A person who never made a mistake a person who never made a mistake" I should say never, sorry, typo. "A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new." Let me fix that. Never tried. Here we go. Never tried anything person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new, and that's true. If you don't try, you know, you won't know whether you're good at something or not good at something, and even if you're not good at something, you can still then figure out ways to get better at that, you know? It's just feedback, you know? If you just look at it neutrally, it's just feedback. It's not negative, it's not positive, it's just feedback. If you look at it that way and kinda neutralize it without judgment as to good or bad, it helps us to live better. All right, so the new belief that counteracts mistakes or failures is that there is no such thing as failure, only failure to learn. How true is that? Any of these lies make sense to you, or are getting any kind of new revelations, please let me know in the comments. All right, so line number 4 is that knowledge is power. Well, if anyone has watched any of Tony Robbins, or Dean Graziosi, those thought leaders, um, it's not knowledge is power, it's the use of knowledge, the application of knowledge is power. And so he has a little, uh, equation here, knowledge times action equals power. So, how many of us do we can know all this information, but if we don't put it into practice, if we're not implementing it, what good is it? So, it's important. Learn something, but then do it, apply it, and he talks about this in his book. The next lie, number 5, is learning new things is very difficult, and I think this is a belief that he had because he had an accident, this Jim Quick, when he was a child at, like, 5, he hurt his fell on the radiator, hurt his brain, and had learning disabilities when he was young, and he had to overcome that, which is what enabled him um, to write this book and this passion. He wants to teach people how to learn because his point is that we were never taught how to learn, and everyone learns a little bit differently, right? So it's important to realize that, um, learning new things doesn't have to be difficult. And so his new belief, is when you learn new ways to learn, learning new things can be fun, easier, and more enjoyable. So, therefore, his book, I haven't gotten to the part yet, but he has many different tips and techniques on how to learn better, how to read faster, how to learn things better, and, there's we I I believe that we are growing and learning until the day we die. If you have that mindset, right? If you have that growth mindset. For others, they may have a different mindset, and they're gonna have a different result in their life. Well, I wanna be active and healthy and mentally and physically and emotionally and spiritually healthy and active until the day I'm not here on this planet. Um, so what do you think? Are you do you believe, that as well? Do you have a fixed mindset or you have a growth mindset? Which one which camp are you in? Now, line number 6 is criticism of other people matters. Well, this is one I've also learned over life. As you know, I've been celebrating my 60th birthday, and, so I got some years under my belt and hopefully some wisdom I've gained that I wanna share and encourage people to live their best lives, to realize that it's possible to do so. But, what other people think doesn't matter. Right now, I've got people walking around, and they're wondering what I'm doing. Can't be bothered with them because then I get distracted. I can't do what I wanna do here. Um, what other people think, that's their opinion, who cares? Do what you think. What you think is what's important. So you believe it's not your job to it's not your job to like, love, or respect me. My job to like me, to love me, and respect myself first. It's all about self-love and self-nurturing. How we treat ourselves is how other people will treat us. So if we're not getting the kind of respect, and as I'm talking here, I'm talking to myself. If we don't get the respect that we want, we're respecting ourselves. These are questions, to ask ourselves, you know, especially during this time where we might have some downtime on what's going on in our lives. And the last lie that he's got is that genius is born, and he says, "No, no, no." There's a man who wrote a book, Daniel Coyle, and he says, "Greatness isn't born, it's grown." So I really love that. The belief here is genius isn't born, it's made through deep practice. And Jim used the example of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was someone he really admired, who really accomplished a lot more than me. And, but he practiced, and he kept at it, he kept at it, and kept honing his craft, he kept, developing his talent, and we all have talents, different strengths, and even if we have weaknesses or things that we're not as good at, we can get better at them if we practice, but we just have to first believe that we can, and then just do it, right? Just do it. Okay. Well, that's what I got from Jim Quick's book and Limitless, and I'm a slow reader, so sorry I'm kind of giving you tidbits and notes, my takeaways as I get through the book, and I'm giving myself time to read it, you know, I'm the boss of me, right? So so there, um, I'll I'm a slow reader, I accept that, but maybe as I read this book, I'll be quicker because he does teach that. Alright. Well, I'm working on the newest episode of Good Vibes TV, which is an interview with Susie Finley, who is a sound therapist. She's also host of a podcast called The Happiness Hive, and she interviewed me as well, so I will let you know when that episode is available. But in the meantime, I want to share a little tidbit from Susie, and here it is.
Working with frequencies are like nutrients. So simply by changing the music you listen to or adding some singing into your like daily routine, like you'd be singing in the shower. We all like to sing in the shower because it's safe and nobody can hear us. you know, so singing, humming, all these things can change your vibration and actually bring energy to those organs naturally and keep you from going into any type of disease or chronic issue. So this particular test is what saved my life with lupus. It guided me through so many things and gave me the energy to get back to healing. So I like to tell everybody this is like a great place to start because you can just use your own voice. You have everything you need is with you for sound therapy. You can hum, you can sing, and just by getting into coherent frequency, you can heal.
So that was Susie Finley, and you'll be able to catch that episode. Let me see here. You'll catch that episode this Sunday at noon. Cross fingers crossed. I'm in the editing process, so it should be done on wood. You know how things happen with this Mercury retrograde, but my intention is that it is premiering live at noon this Sunday, which is Christmas Eve. So, Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates Christmas, and looking forward to having a beautiful time with my family and friends. So, last week, tip was to send love with your eyes. Diann Alexander, who's also on Good Vibes TV, she is um, also she calls herself a crystal bowl collaborator. So she uses crystal bowls for sound therapy. And her tip, what she learned from this man named Fred, was to send love with your eyes. Where he performed, he connected with everyone, sent love to everyone before he sang and performed in the choir. And people's response, they really responded to that. So Diane started doing it, and she saw miraculous results from it. So I want to suggest to you that perhaps you send love, and that was actually last week's tip. So did you send love to people? You can send love, not just seeing people, but you can send love to a meeting, to a Zoom, to a job interview, to whatever interaction that you're having. Send love to it first and see what happens. It's amazing because love is the highest vibration. Love is. Um, so that was last week's tip. Now, this week's tip is humming. Now, Susie talked about humming and how our voice is so important, um, and that you don't need all these tools and different gadgets and things, and they're nice to have. We have our tool right here with our voice, and she suggests humming. The way she suggests humming is that you put your fingers in your ear like this, and then you cover your eyes and you hum. You do this, deep breath in, then hum. Do it 10 times, and it's like taking a nap or doing a meditation. It's really amazing, but the sound of the humming, that vibration, just evens out your so check it out. Try some humming when you're wanting to kinda reset yourself. Try some humming and see how you do with that. I really love it. Alright, and I do have a comment from a Facebook user. Love all the new beliefs. Thank you to who sent that. I appreciate it. Alright, my friends, we're getting to the end here, and that's really all I think that's all I have for you today. So I think we went a little longer than usual. I try to keep it to less than 30 minutes, but some distraction, which is okay. So thank you for watching. I wish you a happy winter solstice, happy Yule, Merry Christmas, and I will see you next week on Thursday before New Year's Eve. So I get to wish you happy holidays again next week. But I hope that some of this information was helpful to you, encouraged you, and I just wish you all the best this next week and for the holidays. Take the time for you and send love. And if it gets too stressful, do the humming thing. You don't have to do this part, but it helps because it forces you to go within. But even if you're humming or singing, that helps to de-stress. So try it out, check it out, and I appreciate you being here and watching, and even if you get this on the even if you catch it on the replay. So again, thank you for watching, and, blessed be, and have a very Merry Christmas, everyone. And if you would like, you can reach out to me at any of these following, um, social media places. Take care, everyone.